All right, we have the combatants here, and I mean combatants, I guess, in the most positive way, and I want you to, we want a proper introduction. I want you to reintroduce yourself to our audience, please.
My name is Jeff McNeil.
And where are you from, Jeff?
Glenwood, Illinois.
How long have you been racing late models?
This is my rookie season.
But you must have raced something else before. Nobody steps into one of these weapons, I hope, without some experience. What else did you do?
We ran 2 years of hobby stock and 1 year of sportsman.
Do you think that's about the right way to get through the ranks?
Basically, yeah, you should get an idea of what you're doing before you come out here and spend this much money.
Yeah, I agree. It's not only spend this much money, this has got to be a handful.
It's not too bad. It's actually, the cars are a little bit, you have to drive them different, but you got more safety equipment built into these cars than you do in the lower cars.
Well, wait just a minute. Allison, you drove one of these. You thought it was a handful.
I loved it, but I started just up at the top. I didn't start down there.
Oh, well, that's true, but you went very slow, too. I know you didn't think you were. But, so in any event, so we're talking about, I wasn't counting, 4 or 5 years experience?
Right. 5 full seasons. I've been racing off and on since 1979.
Okay, now don't go away, because we want to introduce the other combatant once again in the most positive of ways, and this is going to be fun, I hope. There's been enough time elapsed here, so we don't have any angry folks anymore, I hope, and you are?
Dave Rickert.
From?
Dalton.
And Dave, how long have you been doing late models?
2 years in late model.
2 years in late models, and how about other kinds of racing?
I'm a sportsman here and a hobby stock here.
Just one of each?
One of each.
So you're pretty new at this then, too?
Exactly.
Okay, we talked to you guys a little bit earlier. One of the reasons that we've come back here to Raceway Park, folks, is that we just got some absolutely sensational footage. And I want to, again, I don't want to be redundant about this, but thanks again to Chuck Hitzenthaler. He's really something special. But we just got some great footage of this, and it might be one of the best crash shots we've ever gotten. And these were the 2 people that were involved. It was spectacular. You guys didn't exactly walk away from it scot-free. First of all, it was a costly accident, wasn't it?
Extremely.
And secondly, you got hurt.
Yeah, I bashed my knee in a steering column pretty good.
Yeah, and carried that around for a while.
A couple of weeks.
Okay, now don't run away. Let me get back over here. You also did not exactly walk away from this thing scot-free. It was pretty expensive for you too?
Yeah, it was pretty expensive.
And you got hurt?
Yes, I broke a bone in my left hand.
So you ended up with a broken hand out of this?
Right.
Okay. Did you guys ever decide who was at fault?
Basically, I think it's just tight racing. I think it was a combination of all elements.
Okay, we're going to take a look at this thing, folks, to see if we can call this tight racing. Dave? Tight racing?
Extremely tight.
Okay, nobody really at fault?
It's a combination, but no, it was a good, clean racing accident.
Okay, I'm not going to stir anything up. The thing I want the folks to know is that you guys were literally kind of beating on each other the whole race.
Right.
So, and does this normally happen? Again, I am not that familiar with what goes on at Raceway Park, and I know you have some real tight racing, but do you 2 guys somehow usually end up in the same races and go this hard at each other?
Usually, we're called dancing partners. We swap paint here and there, but it's tight here, so we rub.
Okay, you know what we're doing here. We've got this thing set up. We've got our tape that we took, and we've got a monitor up here, and we want you guys to haul this thing. So if we could get you guys to step right on over here. Please, step right over here. And I'm going to start the tape, and what I want you guys to do is kind of give me an idea of what's going on, all right?
A play-by-play.
Play-by-play? Okay.
Play-by-play. Please go ahead and feel free to comment as you see fit. What do we got here? Start of the race?
Start of the race.
Over moved up, and I broke through traffic, and basically we were just going right there, and as you see coming up next lap, it's pretty much me and Dave out in front of everybody else.
Well, that was a great move to the inside, and again, I'm talking about the 58 car. That was a great move to the inside.
Yeah, he kind of gave me the line and let us by.
Okay, now here comes Dave. That's you, 04.
Right, we're closing in on him, and we're going to set him up for a pass there, at least try to.
This is, once again, I want to repeat to it, Raceway Park, this is extremely difficult. This is a very tight racetrack to park at. Now, what are you thinking right now, Dave?
I'm looking for a spot to get a nose underneath him. I see he's got a little push come out, so I think I can get a nose underneath.
So you're going to try to put a nose underneath him, and I guess at Raceway Park, you have to go underneath to get by.
Exactly.
What are you going to do to keep him from going underneath?
Just try to keep the car tight down on the corner. You definitely can't try to pass anybody on the outside here, so if I protect...
Okay, now, what happened there? And I want to stop the tape right there. Okay, guys, you saw what just happened. What happened?
All right, I had to move. I made a move on the inside, coming out of 2, and as we touched, the guy behind me, Tom Smith, ran in the back of me and upset my car.
That was the 27 car.
Exactly.
But now, I don't want to stir anything up, but I got to say, when I looked at this, it looked like he nailed you before he got booted.
Right. He did. He did. But, you know, they pretty much, you got to cross people up pretty bad here, and he was crossing me up. And then I probably would have let him have the line coming into 3, but when I came into 3, as you'll see, he wasn't there. So I figured he was out of the picture again.
So you were actually going to give way a bit?
Sure, sure.
Really? Okay. Well, I want to back this up just a little bit because I want to see that again. When that's the first initial, what I would call hard contact. See if we can get this right.
No.
Hold, Allison, step right on over here. You have a question?
I was just going to say we have another one involved. Where's he? The 27.
No, he did. This gets really involved. Now, did I back it up enough here? Let's see if. Yes, I did. Okay, this is going to be that initial boot again, right?
Right in the middle of the turn, I touched him. As I tried to get on the inside, and I had the line, but Smitty ran in the back of me and upset my car.
Upset your car. Now again, it looks like you're back in the driver's seat. 58 car back out in front.
Right. I didn't feel him hammer on me going into 3, so I figured, you know, he was just out of the picture, and I don't usually watch in my rearview mirror.
You're not all that interested in giving him that much room, are you?
No, we try to race tight here. We really do. Everybody.
Okay, Dave, it looks like you're coming back again.
Closing back in again. There's the same move underneath, but just not enough to get around him.
It looks to me like you're banging.
No, we're clean. We're real clean there.
You agreed, Dave? He's not touching you? I'm sorry.
There's no touch in there.
Okay, because it really was awfully tight. Once again, Dave, what are you trying to do?
Well, I'm still looking for that inside move again. Trying to get a nose in on the inside to get him out, coming out of the corners.
The whole thing is keeping us close in this race is he's getting in the corner better than I am, but I'm coming off the corner better than he is. That's why neither one was really walking away with the show.
Okay, it looks like you really got him there, Dave.
Right.
And now what happened?
Well, I just ran out of racing room. It looked like I come out of 4 and started the line on him. Obviously, we just ran out of room.
Okay, let me do this one more time. I don't want to rub it in much. I don't want to rub it in much, but this was a very hard hit and actually really caught us by surprise. And once again, if it's not being overly redundant, I do want to mention the fine camera work of Chuck Hitzenthaler. I've had people look at this from the networks, and these guys think this was every bit as good as anybody on network did. Once again, you're closing in on, and you're actually right. You're getting down the straightaway better than he is.
Right. I'm coming off the corner better than he is, but he's getting in a little bit deeper than I am.
Okay, what happens here now? I want you to tell me, because there are people that are arguing both ways. Some guys say he's trying to run you into the rumble strips, and other people are saying you had enough and you're taking him into the wall.
Well, it depends how you look at it, but
Well, you're the guys that saw it.
well, I thought I had the room. Honestly, I thought I had plenty of room, to set up for the next corner. So.
Okay. I don't want to beat it to death. We've had an opportunity now to take a look at this thing. The one thing I do want our audience to see, there's no question, this was expensive and the guys were injured, so this really wasn't just a minor incident that occurred. But these guys apparently ended up friends still.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we ironed out all the problems and.
Okay,
We're racing
and
together.
they were also telling me something when we set this up, when we wanted to do this. They also told me something else interesting. You guys both feel that if you both had a couple of more years of late model experience, this wouldn't have happened?
Exactly right. The one thing I found the most different with a late model car is the tires are big. They tend to stick out of the cars. You barely get together, and it jerks the car all over the place. And with the lower car divisions, you don't have the big tires, and you can body slam, and you don't have the problems that you do in these cars. You really, especially in a small place like this, you have to have real quick reflexes. And we were racing so close, the best of reflexes, I think the accident would have happened. But guys with more experience would not have allowed themselves to get to that point.
Okay, you pretty much concur?
Well, plus the white flag came out, so we were both racing for that win right there, and we don't both have that many wins, so we're going for it.
Yeah, and I guess as we were talking earlier, you kind of maybe would have realized with a couple more years of experience, this isn't going to get both of us anything,
Right.
including a win.
Yeah, exactly.
For a heat race. For a heat race of that.
have a question.
Yes, Allison.
When you get into a accident like that and you're so used to racing so close together, does it make you a little more nervous every time you're trying to do that move again?
No, it's probably just the opposite, because you get a feel of how close the cars really are, and you know kind of what he's going to do now. This year racing when I'm so side by side so much, I almost have a feeling of what he's going to do and how much I can rub and how much he can rub me before I'll move, before he'll move.
Right, we've had a lot of close racing after that accident where he's moved me out of the way and we've raced side by side, and I've moved him out of the way side by side, but we've gotten to learn each other, and every lap you take on the track you're getting more experience.
Well, it's the truth, and while it is part of motorsport, you're exactly correct. Nobody wants it to happen, and we try to avoid it as best we can. And I think you're right. Once the guys know each other a little bit better, you know, to avoid that. It's like, I don't suppose you want to put that kind of a move on Dale Earnhardt, would you?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
No, you have to kind of learn those things. Anyhow, guys, I know you have to get ready for tonight's ad. We should say to our audience that this is the championship evening for the late models at Raceway Park.
That's right.
Okay, guys, again, I want to thank you for spending the time with us, and thanks a lot for bringing your cars. And by the way, Chuck, if you can, I'd like you to do a nice sweeping move here. Take a look at the guys' 2 cars. They have just some excellent pieces of equipment. Guys, anybody you want to thank?
I'd like to thank the Art Corner and Hollowfield Racing. They both helped me out a little bit. And Dave Dotter, he's my chassis man.
Okay, great. And?
Sure, Power Source, Ray Jagger for building the motor. Stosh Coleman, the guys at the shop.
Stosh Coleman, I've been to a shop,
yeah.
Sure.
Wayne Coleman, Stashy Coleman, Mike White, and Frank Dante, and of course my dad. My dad always comes out and helps me every night. And the fans, you know, for coming out and yelling and stuff, so I appreciate all the help.
You're right, fans most important to the whole group.
Yeah, fans are, that's what keeps the track going. You know.
That's what keeps us performing. Guys, thank you so much. I'm glad that there was no further great injuries to this thing. I'm glad we had an opportunity to talk to you guys. Girls,
And
to get women.
I'd like to say good luck tonight.
And good luck tonight. Girls, tell the camera.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.